big one. Oh my God, that's there. That's, oh my God. Please stand. Oh no, don't do it. Oh God, no. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whew, you're gonna need to slide over. Please God, stay on there. Oh no. Oh my God. Please God, Tim. Please, Lord, let me land this fish. Where are you going? Where are you going? Don't do it. Don't do it. That's a 10. God, let me land you. Please. Please, God. Come back up front. Slide to your left, please. God, stay on. Oh my God, dude. Please, God. Don't do it. Don't do it. Come on, baby, please. Come on. Yes! New personal best! Oh my God! Yes! Woo! That's got to be a 10-pounder, or at least an 8 or 9-pounder, right? I've never caught, I would say 10. I've never caught one that looked like that. That's how, look at that DC 300 down the gullet, baby. And it's a great way to get your action strike. I do the same thing around grass. I've had some good events up in New York, Gunnersville, obviously Lake Fork, and you're just winding it. Anything you make contact with, you want to pull. You want to create something that's erratic. So the grass, the rock, the bare spots, and again, we're talking post-spawn, summer. The more movement you can have with this bait, the better, and that's going to trigger those strikes. And for me, the nice thing about all three of these baits is they're that medium style crankbait. I'm throwing that on my Swait Signature Series inked rod. It's a crankbait rod that I literally designed because I love the DC 300, and it's just a good all around crankbait rod. It's got the backbone to drive the hooks deep, and then it's got a soft tip where it lets that rod load when they eat it. And also when they eat those with you're throwing, whether it's, I have four hooks on most of those, and it just, the hooks stay pegged. You have to have a rod that's got a little bit of glass in it because it's got to load when those big fish come up to jump and their heads are throwing. If you've got a rod that's too stiff, your crankbait hooks are going to bend out or they're going to just pull out. So you got to have the right rod, the right setup, and you're going to put a lot more fish in the boat, and you're going to have a lot less headaches. So again, just to look back, guys, I'm telling you, 3 crankbaits, whether you've thrown them or not, like you got to have confidence bait. And for me, it was the DC 300. That's what I'm always catching them mid-depth with. And then just trying stuff once in a while. Not in a tournament practice always. Go out and have some fun. The fish are up shallow. The water's in that upper 50s. Pick up a BTC or pick up a brute, and I'm telling you, like, you'll get confident with it. The first time I got confident with the BTC, it was by random. I was literally throwing a different little square bill, and I broke off. I tied it on and just made a cast at a clump of grass on my 360 and caught a 6-pounder. And I'm like, I might have to play around this a little bit more. And it was one of those deals where now, like, I feel good about putting it in my hand. Like, I'm going to go out and get those bites, So the BTC, shallow water, 1 to 3 foot, high floater. You got that brute for that mid-depth, 5 to 7. And my all-time favorite, the DC 300, cash money maker. Put them in the live well. It's going to get it done, guys. When you look at these 2 crankbaits side to side, they look totally different. And again, that gives them totally different, you know, responses to what they do when they hit objects. So you got the BTC 50, it's a lot fatter. It's almost like a ball. It's like a rounded bill and it's a rounded crankbait. And if you think about a ball, if water's pushing at it, like it pushes different, which causes the bait to turn and kick sideways, thus giving you a wider wobble, like a wider deflection. It has nothing to do, even though the baits are totally different inside with the float, like even if they were the same float ratio, they're gonna bounce and react off objects differently. So you got the BTC with that shorter bill, obviously it causes it to dive shallower, and it's gonna have a wider deflection. Now you look at the Brute, it's a perfectly square bill, but it's kind of a longer square bill, and that's one of those like reasons why I like that bait a bunch, because it gets to that depth that it's not a square bill that's gonna go just 2 to 3 feet. It's one we can get down in that 5 to 7 foot, which is kind of a zone that doesn't get square billed a bunch. And again, these fish are so conditioned to seeing the same things, like 5 to 7 foot, it's a chatterbait in the grass. Pick up something different. The guys that are chatterbait, you pick up that Brute and go behind them, it's gonna make all the difference. You might get that extra strike or 10 strikes. So the BTC, that rounded bill, you got the Brute, that square bill, and that helps. If you look at the profile on the Brute, if you were to turn it side to side, that it's very long and slender. It almost gives you that vibe of like the flat-sided crankbait. Now it's not a flat side where you're throwing it like 37 to 40, but it is flat, which gives you that tighter wobble, which is again, one of the reasons why I don't mind throwing that in low 50s when they first get up. It's still a bait that can get it done in colder water. The only thing keeping you tightened up to that fish's mouth is the hook. The most important thing that ties everything together is that hook. And I've played around with a lot of different hooks, and I'm telling you, like every bait, it's a little bit different. But one of my favorites, the short shank version from Gamakatsu, the reason I like those is we're talking shorter crankbaits. You can apply a bigger hook. If you're throwing a big plug, those long shank hooks are pretty solid. But for the smaller version of crankbaits, and like the stockier ones, you got to have those shorter shank hooks because it allows you to upsize hooks. So on my DC 300, I can throw number 4 short shank on both the front and the back, and it's not like getting tangled at all.